All right, let's welcome in our CBS Sports golf writer, Kyle Porter. There he is, KP. A record-setting week this weekend at the BMW Championship near Baltimore. Everybody was under par, Kyle. Tremendous scoring. Everything was working. Patrick Cantlay wins his 5th PGA Tour event, 3rd this season. 6-hole playoff. DeChambeau was there. It was exciting, a drama-filled event. Was this the best golf event of the year so far, KP, in your opinion?
It was up there. You know, if you take them, obviously the major championships are always important and historic and all the different adjectives we use to describe them. But if you look outside the major championships, this one was pretty good. And the ending was incredible. And you got two really contrasting styles with Cantlay and Bryson DeChambeau, not just with the way that they play, but also their demeanors. You know, you've got Bryson gesticulating and hollering and just emoting all over the place. And Cantlay just gives you nothing. I mean, if you get a fist pump out of him, you know that it's something monumental has just happened. So I think those contrasting styles really made for what I thought was one of the best Sundays that we've gotten. Maybe the best Sunday outside of the major championships that we've gotten this entire year, and certainly the second half of this season, looking back on the summer.
You know, KP, DeChambeau had 5 putts to win the BMW Championship. Would have been his 9th career victory. It seems like the flat stick, it cost him out there, KP. When he missed to the left as well, at least on 4 of those attempts. KP, how much did DeChambeau's putter cost him a chance at a win here at the BMW Championship near Baltimore?
Well, there's a couple different ways to look at it. You're right. He had 5 putts from inside of 20 feet. It wasn't like they were, you know, these bombs from 40, 50, 60 feet. But he also finished 2nd this week in putting. So leading up to those last, those last few holes and then on into the playoff, the 6 holes there, he putted it great. He actually didn't hit his irons that well, but he drove it great and putted it great. And that's what got him into that position to begin with. I think the crazy part about Bryson's week, he goes out, if I remember the numbers right, 27 birdies, 4 eagles. He shot a 60. He shot 3 9-hole scores of 31 or better. He had a 29, a 30, a 31, all these different things, and he still can't win in regulation because Patrick Cantlay has the best strokes gained putting performance in the strokes gained era since 2004. So the last 2 decades, it was the best 72-hole putting performance by any player in the last 2 decades from Patrick Cantlay. So it's got to be frustrating for Bryson, based on how he hit it over the last 4 days, to not be able to go out and win this tournament.
Yeah, Bryson also got to be shaking his head too. A long drive on 18 in regulation, 334 yards, longest drive of the day. Had a good look at it, but wasn't able to get birdie there on 18. It sort of kept Cantlay in the game there. KP, this duel came down to the last 3 holes in regulation, 6 playoff holes as well. But I want to go back to the 14th. DeChambeau calls out Cantlay for moving or walking in his periphery. Bryson pretty boldly asked him to stop moving. I don't think Patrick seemed to like that one very much. It sparked him. How much spice did this add to their finish here on a Sunday in Baltimore and that area?
Yeah, you know, when it first kind of, when that first started coming out, I was like, I don't know, that didn't seem like that big of a deal. It was a little, he did kind of holler at him a little bit, but I don't know, you see that every once in a while. But man, those last couple hours, the way that they, didn't look at each other, the way that they didn't interact with one another, the handshakes that lasted about, a quarter of a second, both after regulation and then after the playoff. Something definitely happened. I don't know if it goes back further than that. I don't know if Cantlay was frustrated by that specific incident. But again, that's why I think, we don't see that a ton in the golf world today. Everybody's, they're friends and friendly, and, it's kind of a traveling circus. But to get a little bit of, I feel pretty certain in saying there was some animosity there. That was fun. That made for a great ending and a great event between 2 guys who are obviously world-class players and kind of didn't look like they liked each other very much over the last few hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fans eating it up there in the Owings Mills area. Reminiscent of Bill Belichick with those icy, frosty handshakes with some of his ex-assistants coaching in New England. Real quickly, Rory McIlroy, KP, had his moments this year. Had a win back in May, other top 10s as well. Finished 22 under, 4th there at the BMW Championship. Positioned well heading into next week. Top 15, top 16 around there. How much of a threat will he be next week down in the ATL?
Yeah, I think he'll be a threat. I think the thing that he's got to work on, you'll see him here. He had a great putting week this week, and it felt like a little bit of a wasted putting week because he didn't hit his irons that well. He didn't give himself enough opportunities. And if he wants to win what would be his third FedEx Cup next weekend, he's going to have to hit his irons better. That's been off and on kind of been his problem throughout the year. It hasn't been every week that he hasn't hit his irons very well, but his approach shots, well, of course, we're showing a great one here, but throughout the week, overall, it wasn't where it needs to be for him to go out and win a Tour Championship and a FedEx Cup. So if he can tighten that up, he's got the firepower to make up ground. He's going to be, I think, 7 down to Cantlay to start the week based on the starting strokes at the Tour Championship. But he's got the firepower to make that up over the first couple days and then potentially make it interesting on the weekend at East Lake.
Yeah, shot a 67 and 5 under on Sunday here at the BMW Championship. KP, Dustin Johnson finishes 20 under, tied for 6th. DJ's best finish since Masters last year. What'd you make of DJ's play overall this weekend, Kyle?
Well, it was a lot of the same things I said about Rory. Great putting week from him. You'll see a couple long-made putts here, but just the irons. And, he talked about this. I think it was either on Thursday or Friday. He said, my irons are close, but they're not quite there yet. So what he's saying is kind of matching up with with what the numbers are saying in that he's just not in that kind of top 5, top 10 range that he normally exists at with his iron play. So he's another guy that's had a ton of success at East Lake, obviously won there last year. He'll be the defending champion. He's another guy, though, that'll be 7 or 8 down to Patrick Cantlay to start that Tour Championship in round 1 on Thursday. So tighten up the iron play. Again, him and Rory, it's a very similar story that they can potentially go out and run those guys down, but it'll take a really complete effort from them, especially because they're starting in a hole on Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, 65 and 66. Nice little finish there for DJ. All right, Cal, time now for your 15-second statement. Tour Championship in East Lake, and the ATL is the final event. Who do you like to win that event down there in the ATL, Cal?
Well, I'm going to go with Jon Rahm. He had a bad Monday at the Northern Trust when they finished up that event. Could have won that tournament. Had a kind of a mediocre weekend, even though he still finished in the top 10 at the BMW Championship. He's been playing the best golf of the year. I think if he wins the Tour Championship, he could be your player of the year, and I think he will go out and win that Tour Championship. And then the debate will be on between him, Bryson, Cantlay, and Colin Morikawa for the 2021 Player of the Year.
There he is. He's our CBS Sports golf writer, Cal Porter. Cal, thank you, man. Enjoy it next week as well, buddy. All right, here's the look at the Tour Championships top starting scores. And, of course, Patrick Cantlay starts at the #1 position. Bryson DeChambeau, the runner-up, starts at #3. Tony Finau, #2 there. So Patrick will be 10 under. Tony Finau, #2. He'll be 8 under. And there's Bryson DeChambeau, 7 under. Jon Rahm, he'll be 4th. 6 under. Tour Championship next weekend.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.